Hey guys, Scott with Gray Mac here. I want to talk to you today about water filters. So I'm under house, my house this time, looking at my water filter. So every 3 months, you want to make sure that you go under there and check it. So most houses on well systems will have a under house water filter, a whole house water filter. So guys can see here, there's a layer of sediment that gets picked up from the well, and this is going to stop it from getting in your house, in your pipes. And if you've ever been in a house, like I grew up in a house that did not have a filter, every now and then we have to screw the faucets off because this sediment would be on the back side of the faucet and it would clog things up. So the way you go about changing your water filter is you want to go under your house, obviously, go down to where your system is. Now typically what will happen is this filter will be right by your crawl space door. So you go under the basement, you find your tank, you got a quarter turn valve here. I've already shut it off. Remember, if it's parallel with the pipe, it is on. If it's perpendicular, it is off. So the system's off right now. So what you're going to do is typically, a lot of times, most house builders will have this type of wrench. This is a filter housing wrench. You also want to have a bulb. I did steal this bulb from my wife. Please don't tell her. She would not be too happy about it. And then what you want to do is turn it. So I can see the threads here are going kind of in this direction. It's kind of hard to see, but you want to see whichever direction the threads are heading down is the way you want to turn your filter. Mine, the way you would look down from the top, it's going clockwise, so that's what I'm gonna do. So now I put one hand up here to hold onto the filter housing, so that way you don't break anything loose, and then you just want to turn real quick, like that. So now, obviously, getting lots of water, it's going to drain out of your filter here. So now, I will say one thing I typically do is when I turn the quarter turn valve off, I will go open my my faucets on the outside of the house just to at least get like a little bit of pressure off the system. Keep in mind you're in the lowest point in the system too, typically in the house, so you may have a lot of water back feeding into where you're at. So now I'm going to wait. It would be nice if they put a second quarter turn up here just to shut this off and really isolate this filter valve, but that's not what happened when this house is built. So I'll be back in a few minutes, and then we'll take the filter housing off. All right guys, we're back. Most of the water has drained out. So what we're going to do is continue turning this. You're going to get a little bit wet. That's what happens. Nothing like doing something yourself. Oh, there's a lot of water. All right, woo! Getting a second bath today. All right, so I'm going to take the filter housing, I dump it into the bowl. I want you guys to look here. You guys can see that is a layer of sediment on the bottom. Here, I can swish it up. And so what you want to do is make sure you get that cleaned out. And then this is the filter. So obviously really, really nasty here. So we swirl it up, get it out. If you need to take it out to a water hose, you can wash it off too. My butt is getting wet now because obviously my vapor barrier is working pretty well. And all the water is running under my pants. So you guys can see we have a filter here. Obviously pretty nasty. This is what it should look like. That's what it does look like. This is why you change it every 3 months. So now, very easy process. Just open your filter back up, or your new filter up here, like this, brand new. It's like a yarn wine filter. Just stick it back in here, line it up. There's a tab on the bottom, right there. So you stick it in, line it up there, put it up here. This is the tricky part. Sometimes it lines up, sometimes it doesn't want to line up. Screw it back up on here. All right, should line up this time. Let's get it up there. And now you want to take your wrench, give it just a little bit of a turn. Doesn't need to be a ton, but what you can do is now crack open your valve. So that valve that I was talking about earlier, you just want to put it back in line. And slowly, you guys can see it's filling up in the filter housing here. Water looks clean, water looks clear. I heard it go into the pipes, so that's good. I'm not seeing any leaks. And now you have changed your first water filter. It is super easy to do. If you have any questions, let me know. I will link to the filters from my system in the description below. But reach out if you guys have any questions. I'd be happy to try to answer them as best I can. Thanks.